Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 568. First sip of the day. So I'm wearing this bright green. It's bright green. I don't know how it comes across in my poor lighting of a room. It's on my agenda at some point. So I wore this because everybody was giving me crap about my red shirt looking orange yesterday. So I'm like, I'm gonna throw this neon green shirt on today. IHSA. I have not broadcast the state finals, so from 2007 or 2008, I think 2008. From 2008 until the pandemic hit, I did play-by-play for the Illinois high school softball state finals for their TV broadcast. And I was not able to. So in 2020, it was canceled because of COVID. 2021, I had to turn it down because it just wasn't worth the money. I was only guaranteed like 4 games, and they held it like in the middle of the week. So I was still at my old job. So I would have had no prep time, and I would have had to take like 2 or 3 days off of work. So it just wasn't worth my time. Fast forward to this year, they didn't ask me. If they did, and you know how my inbox looks, they may have, and I just lost it. But I didn't reach out either because it's kind of, I'm far removed and I don't really keep up with it, which I think is a disservice to the teams and to the families. And I also have other things going on. I have a cousin getting married the first weekend in June. I have a friend's birthday party the second weekend, both falling on Saturdays, so would not be able to go. But it was always a fun trip. I got to see some amazing talent. In fact, one of the girls who played a few years ago, she is tearing up the SEC for, who is she with? Auburn? I think Auburn, or no, Alabama. She plays for Alabama. And so it was fun to see some top flight talent. I would always, early on, up until a few years ago, Topps Archives, and I've talked about this, came out usually that first Wednesday in June, which led up to my first weekend. So I would grab a few blasters. I'd have, after I finished my final notes, I'd be doing some hotel rips. So it was always fun, but it's one of those where it's just the time is right. So I'm sporting some IHSA neon green gear today. What's up in the chat? We've got Ed, Jenny. Good morning. Thank you to Jenny. She provided the topic. I was actually on the couch last night, thinking, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? And I had just finished Hobby Hotline. It's like, well, I can piggyback on some things from Hobby Hotline, which, by the way, I do want to talk about, and I think I kind of want to do a special on its own, maybe tomorrow, on the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. So I'll talk about that tomorrow. Victor came on last night on Hobby Hotline and talked about the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. The ballot is out, so I just want to dedicate the topic for tomorrow, which I didn't think of until this morning. I'm like, oh wait, why didn't I think of that last night? But Jenny brought up, let's talk about boxes and binders, which actually ties into what I've been doing here over the last couple days. I said reorganizing my storage area. Herman's seen it, like in living color, live and in person. I don't think there was any reorganization that needed to be done. It's just a clean out organization. It needs to be organized. My wife, she loves watching those Marie Kondo, which I threw a lot of stuff away. And there's another new show on that she loves being organized. And I like chaos. Although I have learned that chaos is leading to inefficiency. So I've learned that being a little more organized, a lot more organized, is leading to being much more efficient, which is good, especially when you're running a business. So thank you to Jenny. It's a great time to revisit that topic. Victor, good morning to you. Diego says store cards in brown paper bags and write $1. There you go. Which I'm gonna talk about that because I also sold some bulk cards. Another truckload is going out instead of coming in, so I'll talk about that. Velveeta cheese boxes. Am I right? Right. Best organization tactic ever. Victor says, great topic. I've been debating on this for my Cub and PC collections. So I'm going to talk about that regarding my PC, along with just other stuff as well. Diego says, I love those boxes. Looks blue. LOL. Just kidding. It looks green. Good morning, everyone. What's up, Diego? Mark Wilkins, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Ryan, good morning. Let's see. Abraham is with us. Good morning. Finally able to catch the stream live again. Lauren has left me to my own devices for the rest of the week, so I think I'm going to hit up the Rockford show. Awesome. So I will, you missed me at the Madison show because I didn't have my quarter boxes, but I'll have some fresh bargain boxes in Rockford this Saturday at the Rock Church on Harrison Avenue. David, what's up? Herman, good morning. Mark says, started converting to binders at the beginning of the pandemic. I've bought more Amazon Basic 2-inch D-ring binders than I care to admit. I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to share my binder story, which I've probably talked about before. HSA grading endorsement. Oh no, it's there's an I in there. Illinois High School Association. Let's see. Z folios are the bomb, which David actually, that's something else I wanted to touch on because I finally bought a Z folio when I was down in Arizona. Before I get into the topic, though, rehash the day. Binders suck, says John. Man, it is so beautiful outside. It's so humid here that the windows are all just wet with perspiration. I took the dog out last night, 10 p.m., and it hit you like a wall, which, oh, I love. In the first humid night day, oh, I love humidity. I know I'm in the minority here. But it felt so good, especially last week. It was 28 degrees when I was doing this show. Right now it's 71. My little taskbar says humid, 71 humid. I absolutely love it. So I'm happy. I made some Morels for the very first time. Now I've eaten Morels, but I've never actually made them myself. So my mom gave me some advice, some tips. My cousin so basically my cousin hunts them or picks them, whatever you call it, searches for them, forages for the Morels. So went over, visited with them, got some Morels, got a nice little big batch of them. Need Dan here to Google Morels. Fix them up. And so here's how I made them. So Morels are those spongy, there's Dan, are those spongy mushrooms. Oh, and they're so good. And you can pan fry them, you can bread them, you can just do about, they're mushrooms. You can fix them just the way you want. So what I did, less filling. Oh, wait, wrong subject. What I did with these Morels, what's up, Jay Grimes? Big fan of the Z folios as well. Diego says humidity helps my muscle movements, but my fat gets me too lazy to move. Dan thinks mushrooms are the worst. That's a terrible take, Dan. So how I fixed these Morels was, I was given the advice. I fear only John will get that joke. I get the joke. What is it? More taste, less filling. And Miller Lite. I get that reference. And there was I love those commercials. Tastes great, less filling. Tastes great, less filling. So I was given, you soak them in like a salt water to just, kind of clean them, and gets kind of the grit and grime out, slice them in half, put them in salt water. So I gave them a little salt water bath for about a half an hour, took them out, pat dry. Then I got a bowl of flour, dipped them in flour, put about a half cup of butter in a saucepan, and fried them up, stunk the house up, and they were really good. So I had to make I had to cook them in 2 batches. because I didn't have enough pan space. So the first batch, little undercooked, but you could really taste the mushroom, which I like. So the first batch, a little undercooked. My wife's like, you could have a couple minutes longer. Second batch, I overdid it, and they kind of tasted like bacon, literally. Like, this tastes like bacon. So I overcooked, and my wife's like, yeah, I think the first batch was good, but just maybe a minute or two more. So live and learn. So that was my Morel adventure last night. If you love humidity, come to Mississippi. I've never been. Mississippi is one of the states that I've never been to. But yeah, I know that the southern humidity is pretty brutal too. Let's see. That sounds like a lot of work. I made a frozen pizza. That's my specialty. Herman knows. I did. Herman, you got frozen pizza or peanut butter and jelly. Pick your poison. Let's see. John says that's your windows crying from the smell of mushrooms, not the humidity. Hey, that could be the case. Abraham says Morels are great. Humidity is not. Going to watch old Bob Euchre Miller Lite ads after the show. There you go. Dan uses Z folios for the Burley collection minus the relics. Korean sets and Burley relics are in boxes. So Dan's kind of going along the lines of what I eventually will do with my own personal collection. 608 says trade them for cards at the farmer's market, right? And by the way, Morels are freaking expensive. Like, if you go to the farmer's market, it's like $50 a pound. $50 a pound for Morels. So that's why you have to get in with family members that go hunt for them. Scott, what's up? Good morning. John says, I did a WWF gig in Mississippi once in Biloxi. Very cool. John's travels, John, I think your and I's travels are probably, we've and you've been to big cities. My travels in mid-major college basketball took me to exotic places like Hammond, Louisiana, and Logan, Utah, and Moscow, Idaho, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota. So Montgomery, Alabama, but never Mississippi. Card Hobbyist, what's up? Good morning. Speaking of travels, one other thing that I wanted to talk about was, and I put the link in the description, check out Chasing Cardboard, Ty Wilson from Bench Clear Media. New channel, new show. Now, I'd heard Ty and Mike talking about it on some of their shows, but I had not watched it. So I watched it yesterday, and normally when I have content on, it's background noise, and I'm shipping and I'm listening. So I had it on in the background, and all of a sudden, I wanted to watch the beginning, just because I'd heard, I think there was actually a separate thread on the Blowout forums about this particular series, and people were just raving about the production quality. So I wanted to watch the beginning. I'm like, holy crap, this is like something you'd watch on Following American Pickers. Amazing. And the content, Ty was in Texas, and it's very much like American Pickers, which I love the show American Pickers. And so this is like American Pickers looking for baseball cards. And Ty, in the first episode, which is in the description to this video, the link, they're in Texas, and he goes to a couple antique shops. He talks to a couple collectors. I won't spoil what happens, but it's a great show, and it's only like 18 minutes. So it's basically the time of a regular series, that you would, a 30-minute series. So check it out. Chasing Cardboard here on YouTube. The link to the first episode is in this description. Jeremy's with us. What's up? Good morning. The AC is not working here at work, and it's hot. So I will proceed to complain to my coworkers about it. There you go. Mark says everyone should store their cards in boxes with pictures of Freddie Freeman in a Dodgers uniform on the side. Shots fired, Herman. I really like the Chasing Cardboard. Let's see, Jeremy, that stinks. The AC never works at my work either until fall. John says they do a good job with the show, Chasing Cardboard. Travis, good morning to you. Dan Quesadillas is with us. Scotty Dubs, I watched the second episode where Ty goes to Montana. Great episode, worth the watch. I have not watched the second episode yet. I'll have to tune in at some point today. Luna, cryptocurrency collapse 95% today. Glad I don't have any of that. I do have some crypto, but I have very little. I cashed out when Bitcoin and Litecoin hit kind of their previous highs. I've got I don't even know what I have. Cardana. I can't remember. I have that. I have some other just random stuff. Just kind of pissing the money away, basically. Let's see. That 70s card show says Chasing Mushrooms with Bo Thompson spinoff series. I liked AP until I realized it was staged, but I guess many are staged. I think nowadays, I don't think there's a reality show that's not staged. I mean, I think it's just I can tell you though, my Goodwill videos are not staged. I wish they were. I wish they planted Mike Trout rookies in every Goodwill box I bought. That'd be awesome. But no. And that's why I want to share like hey, not every Goodwill pallet's gonna have a Mike Trout rookie or $500 Marvel card. Let's see, any of your friends and family investing Luna crypto? Probably not. Jenny says I cashed out on my crypto cards on eBay months ago, found 5 of them, sold them $100 each. Nice. John says I have 92 Fleer crypto waiting for the rebound. There you go. After the Braves got beat by the Sox like they did last night, I may just become a Dodger fan. Now you sound like a Cubs fan. We're tired of losing. Cooter, I put all my money in Pogs and Beanie Babies. Great investment. So I did sell. Did I talk about this? I don't think I've talked about this. I think I mentioned it. So I did sell another truckload of cards. So this is the second truckload that I sold. This actually sold much quicker than the first. I think it took me a month to finally move. So this one I had a few people kicking the tires. I just didn't have the time to really be more specific. But again, it's a bulk lot. I had people, is there good stuff in there? And it's like, no, it's commons. There's going to be some stars, but they're going to be common stars or base. It's just you're paying fractions of a penny per card. But yes, it's probably if you're looking for good stuff, this is going to be junk and you don't want it. So because I want to say that's the thing. Be transparent. If you're trying to sell a lot, be honest, because especially if it's a bulk lot like this, like just hauling it all up to my car is work. Like that's like basically I don't care about the value of what's in it. I care about the back-breaking labor of carrying all 200,000 cards into my vehicle. And then if I get to the wherever parking lot we meet up at, and they're like, well, this is all junk, I don't want it. Now it's either stuck in my car or I have to haul it all back down to my basement. And here we go again. So I had my previous job, similar to this, was one of my accounts was cottonseed. And it was basically I had a couple clients, they were basically brokers. And so cottonseed is used as filler for, and here's some information that you may not know. And where else are you going to listen to a baseball card chat and find out about the diets of Wisconsin dairy cows and how some of it starts in Alabama and Georgia. So cottonseed. So my clients, brokers, sell some of these commodities, and one of which is cottonseed. So we would go to some cotton gins down in like Dothan, Alabama, Adele, Georgia. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. A lot of Montgomery. I think there was a gin there, but we would send trucks in. They would blow cottonseed into the trucks, and it's loose. So that was the big caveat with trying to find trucks that would actually haul the cottonseed, because it makes a mess. It's very messy because they just blow it in. It's basically like a reverse vacuum. They blow it all in. into the back of a truck, and it's weighed to scale. So if a truck can scale 44,000 pounds, the max, so a truck, the federal guideline, the federal law, you cannot be over 80,000 pounds gross. And then there's also axle weight. So you can only have like 42,000 pounds on this axle and whatnot. Anyway, so they blow it all in, and sometimes it has to be, maneuvered around. And how do you do that if you blow it in? Well, you got to get the shovel out, or an end loader, bobcat, or whatever you call those. So very messy. And then the cottonseed is transported from Alabama, Georgia, up to Wisconsin, usually around the Green Bay area. And it goes to either farms. It goes to farms, or it goes to kind of like basically a co-op, a farmer's co-op. And then that's distributed to the farmers who buy it from the co-op. Or if they buy direct, it goes to the farm. And then that cottonseed is used as filler for winter feed for dairy cows here in Wisconsin, also in Minnesota. Most of my runs went into Wisconsin, though, Green Bay area. So there you go. And I had one. And the reason I'm talking about this is because you want to be transparent about, well, it's a mess, and it's not palletized, it's not clean freight. But you also don't want to you've got to be a careful salesman about it. You don't want to just say, oh, it's garbage, it's crap, it's a mess. You don't want to mess with it, because then you can't get trucks to haul it, which is the goal. But you don't want to say, oh, it's clean, don't worry about it. Yeah, go in to pick it up. And then when the truck driver goes in and sees they're blowing cottonseed into the back of his truck, and it's going to make a freaking mess, he turns around and says, hell no, I ain't hauling this crap. So yeah, there's a happy medium. So always be transparent. So there you go. There's a little farm talk, some cottonseed talk, some truck talk. Let's see. Chasing Cardboard is great. Big fan of Bench Clear. Bo should collaborate with that network. People are saying his live AM talk show is taking off. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Card Hobbyist cottonseed meal is a good organic fertilizer. There you go. And yeah, it's actually used. Cottonseed's used. It's used for various things, not only just for filler in cattle feed, but it's used for like cottonseed oil. A lot of it's exported to the various countries. So yeah, it's you can do a lot with cotton and cottonseed. Best basketball coach name, Cotton Fitzsimmons. I agree. Zach adds Uwe Blob. Am I saying that correctly? Uwe? Is it Uwe? Uwe Blob? Who actually, I think he went to high school in Illinois, down south, if I'm not mistaken. Jenny says, side note, if you've been looking at a card in Bo's shop for a while, give it a watch right now. And I bet he sends you an offer on it this morning. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. also is garbage day. Yes, it is. And I have a lot of garbage, which I'm going to get to because I've been cleaning out the storage area. It's standard envelope Wednesday, which means I watch my managed payment balance drop, which, by the way, I don't know if DR is with us, Dan. I did not get a chance to do auctions last night. I planned on it. I forgot that I was on Hobby Hotline. I mean, I remembered, but I didn't plan it, and I need to write things down. So by 9 o'clock, I wrapped things up after the show and went upstairs. What I thought, so I told Herman I was watching the last episode and I fell asleep. It was actually, I think, the second to last episode. So we still have the last episode to watch. So we watched the second to last episode last night. And then I thought about it at like 9:30 and I'm like, I'm too tired. So I didn't, I was carted out. I had to do physical labor, like moving boxes around the last couple days. I'm not much of a physical labor guy. Let's see. Best baseball name, Coco Crisp. He's more worried about boll weevils right now, Jenny. So yeah, let's get into the card organization. Boxes or binders? I'm team both. So and I'm going to start with Z Folios because we had a lot of people comment that they love the Z Folio. So this is my first Z Folio, and I picked this up in Arizona at a card shop out in Phoenix during spring training because I was getting a lot of cards signed at spring training. So I'm like, I'd like to display these, but I don't want to just put, cool autographs in a box. I want to, I want to go back and look because after 6 months or a year, you go back and you look through and it's like, and these are all in-person autographs. So they all have a story. And like I can open up this Z folio and I can flip it to, some of them don't have a story, which of course it's like, oh, let's see. Like Luke Little. I've got a whole page. He signed the whole page for me. And I actually got to hang out and meet his parents. His mom's on Twitter, follow his mom. She collected cards. We got talking about cards. She was telling me about when Luke when he was in first Bowman, he had autographs in Bowman. She was talking about how they sent him all these. They sent markers, and he had to sign different cards in different colors. And she was talking about his TTM requests, and she's like, yeah, he's got about a dozen that I brought out here. So she brought cards that he received through the mail for through the mail autographs. He signed them at spring training, and then his mom took them back home. I think they live in North Carolina, and she mailed them from home. How cool is that? And so those are the fun stories that I can go through. And yeah, it's just an autographed card, but it has a memory attached. And so I can go back and it brings back memories of, hanging out with Luke Little's mom and dad at spring training and just the stories that they shared. And so that's fun. And if they're hidden away in a box, like those cards behind me, it's like, yeah, you can open the box and flip through them, but it's just not the same as going through a binder. Like, is there anything more relaxing than looking through a binder of your favorite baseball cards? Probably, but there's not many things that are as cool as that. So it's one of those things that I love looking through a binder, and I love to curate a binder. And I love the different binder projects like people have. There was one collector on Twitter, and I haven't seen him post a lot, but he would have like a binder page of like trees in the background, and like every page had something different. Like this page had cars in the background, or this page had catchers with their masks on in a card. I think those are really cool. So there's just something about a binder that I love. And my Cubs collection, if I wanted to put 1,000,000 cards in binders, that's going to cost me a lot of money. So I'm not going to do that. They're going to stay in those boxes that you see behind me. But I am eventually, the plan, and this is like life's work for me. Yeah, I'm going to collect 1,000,000 Cubs. I'm going to get there probably at some point next year. I'll reach my goal of 1,000,000 Cubs cards. And then what do? Well, then you start curating the collection. I start, chasing certain cards that I need, whether it be pre-war, finish sets, player runs. And then I can, and I'll do like player binders. Ryan Sandberg, he'll probably have like 10 binders. Javi Baez. I'll do some autograph binders. So, and I do love the Z folios. And I know we talked a lot about these on, I think it was when Dan and George were doing their Saturday night shows. And I think that's where I first got the idea. And I think Ken was also talking about them. And I just finally I always talked about it. Yeah, I'm going to do a Z folio, but really I didn't have any cards that I wanted to actually curate into a binder. So when I was at spring training, it's like I've got 300 cards, autographed cards, or 200 autographed cards. I'm going to do a Z folio. I'm going to go to a card shop, and I found one that had these nice black Ultra Pro Z folios. It's really cool. So I may just do a run of Z folios for all of my autographed cards. So I'm a binder guy, but sometimes we have larger collections and it's just not feasible to put all of our cards in binders. And is there anything worse? Okay. Is there anything more relaxing than curating a binder? It's the opposite when you decide that you're going to not put cards in a binder. And is there anything worse? There is. Than pulling cards out of binders, pages. Oh, that's like the worst card-related chore there is. Pulling cards out of a binder. I hate that. So that's the downside to putting cards in the binder. If you decide to take them out, it's a real pain in the rear. So I'm going to go to the chat real quick because I missed a lot. Where are we at here? Ed uses both boxes and binders. My 1968 to 79 are in binders, everything else in boxes. Finally, some decent farm talk on YouTube. I know we've been searching forever, and it took a baseball card channel to talk about dairy cattle in their winter cottonseed diet. Chasing cottonseed, I love it. I could share some fun cottonseed stories. They weren't fun at the time for me, but they're fun stories to share in hindsight. I binder complete sets, singles that aren't on display or in boxes. May do the Z folios for smaller sets going forward. Jenny says, if you enjoy farm talk, in another baseball card channel, Herman talks chickens. That should be its own channel. Herman talks chickens. Just listen to Herman talk about chickens. Zach says PC singles are in a binder, doubles in a box, rest of the collection in a box minus 189 score football set. And Porter's where he is working on. What a great set. 89 score football. What a great set. My generation was brought up in the era where the sleeves ruined your cards. Still paranoid? Yeah, I can see that. Well, heck, even modern, it's not really the sleeves, but the binder, like that Mike Trout rookie card I had. My first sale fell through because it was stored in a sleeve in a binder, but it was in that top left page where it sat right up against the binder, and so there was a little indentation from the binder ring. So yeah, you have to be careful, and I think that's why Z folios. I'm sure the they know what protects cards and what doesn't ruin them as far as the plastic sleeves go. And then there's no binder ring, so another plus, another check mark for Z folios. Travis says, I do both, but having been struggling with the best way to organize them, do I sort by set, player, etc.? If I do set and I have a large amount of a set, I put in a binder, but otherwise it goes in a box. And that is the struggle, because here's my struggle as a team collector. I'll eventually do team sets and player runs. Player runs of my favorite players. I'll have a Ty Griffin binder, because that's he's like the player that turned me on to Cubs team collecting in 1989. And of course, 89 tops, I don't have to worry about. I have plenty of 89 tops. I can put them in 700 binders. But some of the rare set, if I do say it's a 52 tops, it's at a high number. You don't want to go out and buy a second copy, because you can use that money for, something else that you need as part of your collection. So where do you put it? If it's somebody in your player, and I don't think there's any for the Cubs. I don't think there's anybody in a that would be in a player lot. But let's say Ernie Banks. I'll have an Ernie Banks binder. So we'll go 54 tops. So I have an Ernie Banks rookie card, but I don't want to put him, I don't want to buy a set. I don't want to buy another Ernie Banks rookie to put it in, say, the player run when I have the other one in the 54 tops team set. So that's the conundrum. Where do you put, a higher dollar card? You don't want to buy a second one, because you can use that money wisely to fill another need within your collection. So do you put that in the team set, or do you put it in the player set? I don't know. That's a bridge I'll have to cross when I get there. Jenny says some binder projects. Oh, where did I go? Some binder project, a Franken set of card numbers in number order, but only one of their team. So it's all different set designs. That's a cool idea as well. I've seen that. I saw that on Twitter, I don't know, a month ago or so. And it's like, that's really cool. I think it might be Once a Cub that does something like that. And it's like, that would be fun, especially like for just Cubs, like 1 through 792, which was kind of the basic set run for tops back in the day. Let's see. Herman uses them. Let's see. DR says, morning all. Do we know if the binder pages that are produced today will dry out and harden like the binder pages of old? I'm sure that technology, I'm sure that it probably depends on when they were manufactured or produced. Those old binder pages, like, in fact, when I was cleaning out the storage area this week, I came across like a box of old binder pages, and they're that like hard plastic, and it's like those went straight into the recycle bin. Just because, yeah, they're hard. They're, you'll get plastic cuts. I was going to say paper cuts, but I guess it's plastic. You'll get because they're sharp. They're sharp as a knife. Some of those old binder pages. But I would be fairly certain that the plastics of today are much more advanced and will not ruin cards like the old plastic sleeves of the 70s and 80s. Let's see. Jenny says, John, wasn't your younger years the times when kids would not store cards, but rather play games and use a pen to cross out a team name when a player is traded? WWE Prism Box collapse price, saw it on eBay. Yeah, those prices are just sinking. Herman says, oh, my poor cuticles. Cooter says there should be a constitutional amendment against putting cards back to back in binders. That's a good. What are your thoughts on that? I used to be a back-to-back binder guy, especially when it came to larger sets, like complete sets. Now I appreciate the card backs more than I did, in my younger years. So I would agree now. I think in the past I was team back-to-back because I was also cheap, and not really cheap, but just frugal. Because I didn't want to spend all that money on extra binder pages. So if I can double up cards, I'm spending half the amount of money on binder pages. So it was more of me being frugal than anything else. Someday someone will broach the topic of environmental waste in our hobby. We've been horrible to Mother Nature. I'm all about recycle. I mean, I recycle, this, I got some Tops Now cards, and this will be reused. In fact, what I do, so I won't reuse this like entire bubble mailer to ship out, because I have plenty of bubble mailers that I get through my eBay store subscription. What I will do, and I'll show you right now. So bubble mailers I receive in the mail, I will cut up and say, I'll like basically do it in half. So when I sell like a higher dollar card, I will let's just put this autograph. So I'll put a card, this autographed card, in a top loader. And now if it's like a multiple $100 card, I don't do this. But if it's, say, like a $100 card or $50 card, this is the method I use. And then I'll put it in, so I'll put the card in a top loader inside a team bag. Didn't think I was going to do this today. So, but we're talking about recycling. So I put it in a team bag, and then depending on what it is, sometimes I'll put, I'll sandwich it in cardboard just to make it a little more rigid. Actually, yes, I do that. So I'll use some blue painter's tape that, and then on this, I'll stick it inside there, and then there's enough room to make it, to make your package a little flat. And then I'll use a new bubble mailer, and then I'll stick it inside like so. And so you've got like double the protection. So I'm big on recycling in the hobby, and I know we, generally speaking, not we in this chat room or anybody in general, but we as the baseball card hobby, yes, we are very wasteful. I mean, just look at people wasting like base cards, like, going through and pulling out the hits and then throwing, like, people throw away cards, like new cards. Oh, that drives me crazy. Anyway, so that's my recycling lesson for the day. Where are we at in the chat? Whoa, where am I at? Let's see. Scott says, I put base sets in boxes and inserts in binders. There you go. I like that method. 52 Tops isn't going in a 9 pocket. I would agree. Let's see. Victor. What's up, Victor? Good morning to you. It was, by the way, Victor is a new member along with Herman on Hobby Hotline. Victor was on. If you didn't catch Hobby Hotline last night, check it out. Here on YouTube, Hobby Hotline. Victor talks about the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. By the way, I don't know if you caught it earlier, Victor, but I'm going to talk about that. That'll be my topic of the day tomorrow. I want to talk about the Baseball Card Hall of Fame, the ballot. I'll link it all up. So we'll do that tomorrow morning. Victor struggles with the Z-Folio because I can't see the back of the card. And that's a great point. I'm talking about, when Cooter says back to back in the binders, and I said I've appreciated the card backs more, that is the downside to the Z-Folios. You can't see the back of the cards. Ultra modern cards don't offer very much on the card back, but the older stuff does. I'm a fan of underrated card backs. Totally agree. Some of the card backs I've seen, like it just says like pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. Like I've seen like someone, I think it's Panini or maybe Leaf, and it's like, really? This is the card back? This is atrocious. But Bowman, here I go talking about Bowman again. Bowman has awesome card backs. Let's see, like I've got a Wander Franco rookie right here. And I love it's got the resume, and it's got a nice little tidbit on in 2021. Wander Franco tied Frank Robinson on-base streak record for age 20 or younger, 43 games. And then you've got an up-close segment where this is just kind of like random facts about Wander Franco. He garnered Patron nickname in his first pro season. Loves cooking rice with eggs and avocado. How cool is it? Yeah, we get to know the player. On the back of Bowman cards, Wander Franco loves cooking rice with eggs and avocado. I've never tried that, but I love eggs, I like rice, and I love avocado. Maybe I'll have to try that. And Wander cites Instagram as his favorite social media app. And he's a sports car enthusiast. Well, that's good. He's going to be making enough money to buy those sports cars. So Bowman has awesome card backs. But there's, yes, as Victor says, some of the ultra modern cards, their card backs, frankly, suck. Do better. Do better. Do like Bowman. Diego says, I have a hockey Franken set for goalies. I love that. Let's see. For some reason, my graded cards just won't squeeze into those binder pages. New invention binders for slabs. There actually are binders for slabs. I don't see them very often, but every once in a while, I'll see them at card shows. And flip through, it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. Cooter says old pages had PVC in them and would stick to cards. That's right. Yes, that is right. Let's see, Diego, I would enjoy seeing a video of your goalie binder project in a future video if you want to share. That would be cool. Numbered card backs matter. My Rhino collection is in a binder, one side to see the back. Card back matters. I bought a 53 top set, and the old pages had to literally cut them out of each pocket. You could literally see a shadow of the card in each pocket from the ink. Oh, man. Let's see, where are we at here? Victor says, I think I skipped a couple. Victor says, talking to Diego, need to see that Rhino collection. Collects Rhino and Grace. John adds, you're just sending your trash to someone else. That's not recycling. That's true. I guess there's a point to that. Yeah. Cooter, I read that fast. I thought you said you cut your 53 Topps cards to make them fit in pages. Don't throw cards. Send them to me for a Halloween project. Side sleeved or top sleeved. Oh my God, top sleeve all the way. Oh, there's nothing worse when it comes to card storage than side sleeve binders. Who's with me? Ban side sleeve binder pages. Oh, that's the absolute worst in card storage. Side sleeved binder pages. John says, don't forget to vote. I this morning I was looking a little thoroughly, and I started to vote, but then I was just kind of going down the list, and I wasn't really putting thought into it because I was just, that's a card. So I didn't submit my vote because I want to put more thought into it and actually see every card that's on the ballot, so I don't get to my 10 before I see cards that I would vote for. So I'll be getting my vote in. Let's see, talking about the Baseball Card Hall of Fame, which I'll talk about tomorrow in depth, and I'll share all the links there. Jenny, I have a video updating the binder and one before that shows the creation. I'm looking forward to Diego tackling the Russian goalie names. Yes. Give me standard American names and I will struggle. Jenny adds, I've been trying to backtrack in everyone's videos. Oh, how did Bo's uncle pull through from COVID last fall? Not good. He died. He did pass away from COVID. Yeah, so he did not pull through. Let's see. Cooter, that's funny. Jenny, I just sold a 53 Jackie that someone had trimmed to fit in a 9-pocket card. Was beautiful otherwise. I bought it as a kid and it was the only Jackie I could afford then. Very nice. 29 people with 9 likes. Come on. Hey, we're up to 14. Thank you. Stories in Cardboard. What's up? Welcome to the chat. Good morning to you. John says, my votes were revealed on my Twitter last night. Excellent. I will check that out. John is willing to buy 1960 Yaz votes. What's it worth it to you? I have 2 1960 Yaz's, so I should get 2 votes. There you go. So yeah, boxes and binders, the great debate. I'm team both. And it's also kind of ties into my organization. With my storage area. I was going through and my wife's like, she went like the other day, I was hauling all the crap out of the room. I'll have to share some like before and after. I didn't take a before picture, but I think I have one floating around from like previous, and it's I think Herman explained it in his show on Monday night. I was watching the replay yesterday. He's like, there's basically a path to the beer fridge. And that's exactly, you had to walk around the treadmill that never gets used to get to the beer fridge. But yes, there's a path, basically one path to the beer fridge, one path down to the circuit breaker. So it's much more organized. So, and here's the thing. So we bought heavy duty shelving units. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And bought them from Menards. They're 120 pounds each. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm going to have to get a friend. I'm going to have to bribe them with beer. I'm not handy. So we hired somebody to put them together. And I'm like, you always feel like a little like when there's another man in your house doing this labor. It's like, I should know how to do that. But anyway, it was like a team. There was 3 guys and they were struggling. So I didn't feel bad at all. But they turn your man card in, right? I don't care. I'll just F it up. So you know what? If I have to pay somebody to do it, I still mow my yard. That's like the one thing that I can mow my yard. That's about it. I can mow the yard. I can do a little landscaping. The rest, it's paid out. And I don't feel bad about it, especially after one guy twisted his ankle. I could hear grunting, trying to maneuver these big units down the steps. It's like, there's no way in hell I would have been able to do this. So those got put together. We started putting them back. So basically, like, this may surprise you. I'm not a very organized person. So we start putting stuff back together. My wife's like, okay, now, and she went the other day, she went and bought like all these big plastic tubs, different sizes. She loves this kind of stuff. She loves organization. And she's like, okay, now everything, because I had a lot of, she's like, well, what's in this box? And I said, random shit. And she goes, okay, well, you're going to put the random shit in boxes. So you need to put, you need, everything needs a place. I'm like, son of a, can I just have a random shit tub just to throw random shit in? No, that was not an option. So I'm going through all my stuff, and I realized I might be a hoarder. I was going through one of the random shit boxes, which there were many random shit boxes. I pulled out one box, and it was, and I think it actually, it's not something that I've had. I'm going to turn 40 this year, so it's not something that I've had carrying around move to move for 22 years. But it was like a bunch of high school stuff that my mom probably snuck into my house at Christmas. Like, here, take this. I don't want this crap anymore. I'm starting to go through it. It's got all of when I played high school basketball, it's got like all the locker signs, hey, we're going to play Aledo High School this week. Beat the Green Dragons. Go Bo. Number 32. I had all of those. Or my mom had all of those. I had all of my graduation, my high school graduation cards, and I start like going through. Is there still a $20 bill in this one? There wasn't. But it's like, and it's kind of, it was sad. I was going through, and it's like this person died, this person died, both of these people died. It's like, oh my god, and it kind of like made me pause and like maybe we shouldn't take, we kind of take things for it's like a high school graduation. We just kind of take it, all of these people, we just, especially when you're 18, 17, 18, you just think this is life. Everybody's going to be with us for the entire journey, and that's not the case. And so it really kind of hit me like, man, half of these people that signed this graduation card were at my party, and now here we are 22 years later, they're no longer with us. Anyway, enough of the sad stuff. So I'm going through and it's like, okay, it's just, why do I have this? Toss, toss, toss. My wife was very happy with the amount of crap that I threw away, the graduation cards, birthday cards from through the year. Like I realized I think I am a hoarder. I think I just keep everything. So we got about halfway through. So I got to tackle more shipping this morning, and then I'll go put the room back together. I'll show some after pictures. I've got a shelf with all my shipping supply, like the backup shipping supplies. So that's all easily accessed. The card show, the signage and stuff is it in its own place. All of my Cubs memorabilia and stuff has like a giant shelf that I can't hang, like 300 autographed baseballs that I don't have space for, just a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's go to the chat. Let's see. Victor says, I feel the same way. Dan says, at least I know how to change a tire. I don't think I've ever changed a tire on my own. That's what AAA's for, right? Let's see. John says, my wife fired me from lawn care this year. It's like watching some other dude raise your kids. Do not feel that way. Some have skills in technology, others in physical, others in X. We all have different skills. That's very true. And I came to realize I am not a handyman a long time ago. And I am okay with that. Tell the ankle twister to turn his band card in as well. Herman says, my tech skills suck. My skills are not marketable. Hard to monetize sarcasm. Let's see. But you do it so well. We need a tip jar for John. Throw $1 his way for every funny comment. My tech skills suck also, Herman, but I can take a transmission out of a truck and put another in a truck in a day. But ask me about file exchange. Can't figure it out. I wouldn't even be able to locate a transmission if you opened the hood. Let's see. The stock market and cryptocurrency are crashing hard. Thanks for the great news. You must be fun at parties. Victor says, Bo, I thought of you when I saw an Instagram post from Burbank. They are selling 2 million cards inside a storage unit for $8,000. Oh my God. That sounds like a dream. Burbank is like that's who I strive to be. And sometimes you say, if I could only be half the person of X, it's like, if I could be like 2% of Burbank, I would be really happy with my business. That's like if you're a baseball player, like you strive to be Mike Trout. As a baseball card seller of low dollar cards, I strive to be Burbank Sports Cards. Jenny says, seriously, what would I do without you guys every morning? Welcome to my world, says Diego. Hoarder, Tops, bootlicker, etc. Your resume is growing. I'm a Tops bootlicker. I'm a hoarder. And I'm okay with that. John says, these are cards that can't make it into their 40 plus million inventory. Imagine what kind of cards those are. I know. I mean, $8,000 for 2 million cards. Now I have about 2 million, maybe a little more than 2 million cards. But yeah, that would be fun just to go through. Bo, you could make a ton off selling it at $1.50, but we would never see him because the time. I know, the time. shill for the cotton industry as well. Yes, I'm a shill for the dairy farmers and cottonseed. Let's see. Low Roller says, do you think sports cards price collapse since the inflation release? Check out my video yesterday. I talked about that very topic yesterday, and I went an hour and 20 minutes yesterday. Let's see. And so, yes, Low Roller, I touched on all of that in yesterday's episode. Check it out. They've been selling a Burley Relic card for $35 for 6 years. Um, yeah, some stuff doesn't move, some does. So that's what I had for today. Do some shipping. I'm going to put the storage area back together. I'll tweet out some pictures. I'll tweet out some pictures of kind of the before and after. And then tomorrow, I think I touched on this a couple times. I don't think I actually gave the details, but I sold another truckload of cards, and it's a guy who makes like basically repacks. And so I listed it for $400 on Facebook Marketplace. And so he was, I had a few people kicking the tires, like, oh, is there good stuff? It's like, nah, it's all commons. So I told him, yeah, it's basically all commons. There's going to be some stars, but yeah, it's a lot of commons. And he says, okay, how about you do 325 delivered to me in the Wisconsin Dells? And I'm like, so and the Dells is only 45 minutes away from me, so it's not like it's a few hours I have to drive. So I counted it. I'm like, I'll deliver for 350, and he took it, and I'm like, I'm hella happy because mainly just for the space, so I can get all that crap out of my basement because it's all is in the storage area, so I can get that out. I'll have it. I'll have some cash for the Rockford show this Saturday, so I might be digging through some bargain boxes, maybe buy some outright. So we shall see. So I might just sell these cards to buy. Well, I know I'm going to sell these cards to buy more. I mean, that's my business. So that's what I'm going to do. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll be driving up to the Dells and dropping off those cards, do a little deal, and maybe develop a relationship where, in another month, because the closet that you can't see it, it's over there, is completely full, and I'll go through that and bulk out some more. And just try to, because as it is, like I couldn't, like if there was 100,000 card or another Goodwill pallet, like I really don't have any space. I have card like boxes back in this corner nook, piles and piles. So I need the space. No YouTube notification. That sucks. I'm sorry. C&M Collectibles, welcome to the chat. We're the people. Walk the mall before the stores open. Jenny, I love it. What have you heard on your hopefully collection buy? Yes. I messaged the guy that that I went to look at it with. He has not heard from him. I have not heard from them. I think I'm going to reach out later today. Today's Wednesday. I wanted to give them until I was going to reach out Tuesday, but I just had so much going on yesterday. So I'll reach out. I'm in no rush. I don't think they're in any rush. And I've got a lot going on that it would just kind of be, it actually kind of would be a minor annoyance right now coming, trying to piece together, because it's not like, if it were just me buying the collection on my own, it would be an easier pill to swallow. But since it's two of us and we're splitting it, it's basically going to take us an entire day or more to get it properly split. So we can, it's fair for both sides. So that's why it would be an annoyance, just because of the splitting of it. I did figure out how to use two cameras on StreamYard with the new Logitech at the same time, or just flipping back and forth. Because if it's at the same time, I need to know that information. I do know how to switch back and forth, but I was not able to figure out how to do two at the same time. Let's see. Jenny says I couldn't figure out how to use one camera. I have to open the camera cover. That always helps. What's up, Boom Slang? Good morning to you. So that's what's on the plan. My card show schedule, it's 59 minutes in, and I haven't said the JN word yet. So card show schedule this month. This Saturday, I'll be in Rockford, Illinois at the Rock Church for the Northern Illinois Card Show. I will be bringing all of my quarter boxes to this show. Let's see. The following Saturday, May 21st, I'll be at the Green Bay Card Show. So if you're up that way, I'll be there. Not sure what if I'm gonna take my dollar. I'll probably take my dollar boxes because it's gonna be a hotel stay. So I may just do dollar boxes at the Green Bay show, just because I've got hotel costs that have to be factored in. And I can get it's 4 times faster to get to a dollar with a dollar box as opposed to a quarter box. So that's May 21st, and then May 28th, the Madison Card Show at the Sheraton Hotel on Take a Drink, John Nolan Drive, 9 to 3, free admission, 150 tables. Looking to do some other things that I'll reveal here, hopefully in the next few days. So that's May 28th, Madison Card Show, John Nolan Drive at the Sheraton Hotel. May 21st is Jenny's birthday. Awesome. John Nolan was an orphan, by the way. I did not know that. And John also adds open different tabs in StreamYard. You can add as many cameras as you want. Okay. I like that tip. Okay. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you have not already. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for another great morning of chat. Tomorrow, we will talk about the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. So big thanks to Victor for coming on Hobby Hotline last night to talk about that. And so I'll reveal my ballot and talk about the Baseball Card Hall of Fame and go over all of that stuff. So we'll talk about that tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. for Hobby Evolution. Have a great it's trash day, so it's Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll chat tomorrow.